Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Sunday, February the 5th, 2023. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am here to represent DFS Coach Talk and go over the 5-game NBA slate tonight for FanDuel and the 4-game NBA slate for DraftKings and YAHOO. But I'd like to say hello to everybody here that's jumping in chat. We have tons of things to cover today. Obviously, the most important being the news that we just got here that dropped about 20, 30 minutes ago, and that is Kyrie Irving to the Dallas Mavericks. And for maybe new members or people that haven't been with us a long time, I am a lifelong Dallas Mavericks fan, so I am pretty darn excited. So we'll break this down and talk about the trade. We'll go over ownership. We'll talk about defensive efficiency, pace of play. We'll look at the specific matchups, and we'll get you ready to really take down what I still think, even though it's only 4 and 5 games, some really good competitive contests here. And then we're also going to give away some DraftKings, FanDuel, YAHOO free tickets for tonight's action. So what we're going to do is we're going to give away at least 2 tickets for the NBA action tonight. And if for every additional 25 people that jump in here and get into the podcast with us, we're going to add an extra ticket. So if you're watching now live on Twitter, please like and retweet. And if you are watching on YouTube, just shoot that message out. Let's get some friends and family in here, and let's celebrate this big trade by the Mavericks, and then also put together a really, really solid lineup that we're going to take some stuff down this evening. So real quickly, before I get into this trade and everything, I want to say hello to some of the people that have already jumped in chat. We have a nice group in here so far. Jugga Kushti, first one in. So Jugga Kushti wins the prize today of being of the honorable spot and the tip of the hat for the first one in the chat. You are the man. Rose is in here second. We have Michael. I don't know, Michael, if you're new or you've been in there, and I just don't remember just a straight Michael, but that's pretty cool that you just have Michael. I like that. Welcome. And I will give you my full take on this trade. What are you, a Mavs fan, I wonder? We will see how that goes. Paint Blank SM, let's go. Yes, Dead Presidents as well. The same, one in the same. We love you. David Dulac. We have one of the double D's in here. Yes, woohoo is the right phrase. You know, I'm posting that all day long. And the legend, the one and only Coach, he says, wow, that makes me feel old and washed up. No, I'm just kidding, David. I appreciate it, but, you know, it's age is only a state of mind, and it's mind over matter. And if you don't mind, it doesn't matter. So that's where I'm coming from, and I'm staying with that story. Aloysius 5, what is up? Good afternoon, my friend, king of all trades. Definitely great Sunday vibes. Great to have you in here with us. Nathan Feudy, one of our favorites. King Moses, love you, man. Great you're in here. Jeff Zernajewski, how are you, my friend? I hope I'm hitting that name correctly. How are you? Great afternoon on Sunday. Justin Jennings, how are you, my friend? I think I've seen you in here one other time, but if you're new, definitely welcome. Love to have you in here with us. So again, we're going to give away a couple of tickets. Hopefully we get some more people continuing to jump in here, and we'll add a ticket as we're going. That's the plan. But as our man Double D said, if you have a chance, please hit that thumbs up. That really gets us noticed on YouTube, and like and retweet on Twitter. That also gets us noticed. Want to get the word out there as much as we can. So King Moses, yeah, in Discord, he is I Scammed You. I love that name. That's hilarious. So great to have you back in here with us as well. Let's see. Cherniski. Chernisky. Okay, well, I was off. I didn't do it right. Chernusky. I thought it was Chernusky, but the J, it's Chernisky. Okay, I got you. I'll remember that because I have a bad knee. How's that? Archie Moss is the half a season rental for Dallas. Okay, we're going to get into that. I'm going to break it all down, explain to you. Dug into this trade a little bit. I really saw it coming. We talked about it yesterday on the podcast. A lot of people didn't think the Mavs were one of the favorites to get them, but I really felt it was going to happen, and I'll break all that down here in the reason why. DJ217, welcome, my friend. Chernisky. I'm going to keep doing it until I get it right, my friend. All right. Before we get into the games and, of course, the big talk, I'm going to give you my diatribe on this Mavs trade with the Nets. I want to say congratulations to our own D-Lux, Miss Deb Lutz. Absolutely, with a big takedown last night. She gave that lineup out as a core, as for a DraftKings core to our members. And I know some of our members cashed as well. But big hats off to Deb. We did a podcast with Crash and Deb and I yesterday. And Deb laid it out there and she brought it home. So congratulations, Deb. And if you want to get those full lineups on FanDuel and Yahoo and that core build on DraftKings, we do that every day in the NBA being our number one sport. Golf, so we have PGA. We're going to do both. We're doing both the PGA and the Live Golf Tour. We've got MMA, NASCAR with big NASCAR race. We'll have lineups up for that. And we usually do golf both Thursday for all 4 days and the weekend. And then today we did a bonus fourth round only. Marty Don Yeezy, what's up, my friend? How are you? David Dulac made some money off of Deb's lineup. That is great to see. Is there a FanDuel core? We give out the full lineup on FanDuel. I'll be posting. I scammed you, my man. And I don't mean that. I know that's your name in Discord. That's why I'm saying that. So I didn't scam you, but I'm just calling you I scammed you. But it will be in Discord. You're going to get that full FanDuel lineup. All right. So congratulations, Deb. Join us. I've already posted it here. You see it, dfscoachtalk.com. If you're not with us already, 3 days, $3, best deal in the industry, and you're going to get everything we've got. We do ownership every day in the NBA. We're going to go over all of it. All right, let's talk about this trade. First of all, I know a lot of people, my phone and Discord and DMs and Twitter are all blowing up. Everybody wants to know what I think about this trade. I think it's a tremendous trade, and I'm going to explain to you why. First of all, do I like Kyrie Irving as a person? Do I believe in some of the crazy stances he takes and some of the weird opinions he has? Absolutely not. So that's off the table. Not worried about that. I'm worried about what happens with him between the lines, and can he get along well with Luka, who is the franchise player. And I know that he's had a real checkered past with some of these stops, a lot of weird stuff. I get it. But here's the deal. This is my thinking on a lot of it. First of all, the way the trade initially reported sounded like the Mavericks gave up a hell of a lot more than they did. They really did not. It's a really good trade, and I'm happy that the Nets took it. We gave away a first-round pick, but it's at the max, not until 2027. So it's, we got quite a ways out until that first-round pick has to go. It's only 2 second-round picks, not a multitude of second-round picks. We also received Markieff Morris. I don't know if we keep him. Probably shooting 40% from three. He's an enforcer, except for Joker, who snapped his spine in half. But other than that, he's usually pretty tough. I will say his twin brother, Marcus, he and Luka hate each other. They're always looking to fight. I know Markieff and Marcus are very tight. So we'll see. Don't know what to think about the Markieff piece of that. Now, the two players, Spencer Dinwiddie, expendable. He's a backup point guard to Luka. Only time we've really needed him is when Luka's been out. So that's fine. Dorian Finney-Smith, he's the one that's going to hurt because he's our best defender. And, that's going to hurt us defensively for sure. But there are a couple of things that help smooth that over. Number one being Josh Green, as much as I don't like him as a DFS player at all, I don't think he's a good offensive player, but he's a nice, sound defender. He hustles. He does a lot of the things that Finney-Smith can do. He's just a little shorter. And there's, we'll see. We're going to need more defense out of Reggie Bullock. And plus, maybe the Mavericks haven't finished making deals. So, and Dorian Finney-Smith signed a pretty healthy contract last year. So he wasn't cheap. It's not like we had him on the cheap. So we're not going to miss Dinwiddie much. The draft picks are really not that bad. A 2027 first, which is a long time from now, a couple of seconds. And we have a premier backcourt player. Is it going to be a rental, as one person asked in here? I don't believe so. Here's my theory. Nico Harrison and Kyrie Irving. Nico Harrison is the general manager for the Dallas Mavericks. They have a long history that goes like 15 years back. Nico was the main man for Nike, and Kyrie, obviously, with all his shoes and everything, had the massive deal. They're very tight. And I know that conversation took place based on some of the things that I read from some of the Dallas beat writers and such, that Nico and Kyrie, it was just one-on-one. I'm assuming, it's not reported, but I'm assuming he's saying, Kyrie, if things are decent, do we have a good shot to keep you here long-term? And I believe that Kyrie is going to try to honor that. So I think that there can be a long-term extension for Kyrie. Is he a headache at times? I get it. Or his antics and stuff? Yes, I got all that. But on the court, he is a tremendous player. He's hit a knockdown shot to win a championship. He is a great player. And Luka blessed this trade. So a lot of reports I just read that they went to Luka and said, do you want a backcourt with Kyrie Irving? And he said, yes, let's bring him in. Let's do it. And he was tight with Finney-Smith. So this is a big deal. So Luka sold into it. The general manager has really, if this doesn't work out, if Kyrie doesn't work out and re-sign, I think it'll be the end of the GM position for Nico Harrison with the Mavericks. He completely blundered the Jalen Brunson fiasco, which set the franchise back a couple of years. And, he was excused for that, not excused as losing his job. But it seems like everybody has forgotten about that. I haven't. It extremely upsets me all the time. But this will be either, a renew for him. Dallas makes a deep run in the playoffs. Luke and Kyrie hit it off. Kyrie resigns. Nico looks like a hero. If it flops, Kyrie pulls one of his, I'm not going to play these 2 weeks because the earth's flat, and his antics and all that happens, and he doesn't resign, it will be the end for Nico and a big step back for the Mavericks. But I don't think that's going to happen. So my take on this trade is they had to do something, my friends, because here's the deal. They weren't going anywhere. The Mavs were in big trouble. It was Luka and not anything to support him offensively on any kind of consistent basis. His usage was horrible as far as way overusing him, highest usage in the league. All kinds of things like that are the reasons why they had to do something. Either that or they mail in the season, it's over, just unload everybody. And we talked about that a little bit on the podcast this past week. So I think this move really is nothing to lose. It gives you a run for it. You have a chance to turn the franchise around. You had to get somebody of high caliber that is going to take that spot next to Luka like Brunson was doing, and you get Kyrie, for crying out loud. So here's the deal. I think that it's, see self-made. Oh, my goodness, man. I am so sorry. I did not see your DM to give you your gift. So guess what, buddy? You're going to get 2 tickets today to make up for the one that you missed yesterday. So make sure, send me a DM, go to @dfscoachtalk.com and DM me your PrizePicks email, and see Self-Made, you're going to get 2 tickets today instead of 1. And I apologize for missing that. I got pulled all kinds of different directions, and I forgot to double check that on Twitter. So no problem, I got you. DePrince, great to see you. Garage Junkie Productions, always with a nice gentle thumbs up suggestion. We always love that. I said DePrince, let's see, Mark Cuban knows players with good character. I think that might be a joke, or is that, I don't know, man. But yeah, he's had a few weird ones in there. I'll admit that. I mean, through the years, from the Lamar Odoms to the Dennis Rodmans, there were some wacky ones that we get in here in a desperate mode. But I don't think this is a desperate mode. I really don't. Kyrie's still freaking awesome, man. He is unbelievable. How are you going to run a blitz? Because what's happened, and the reason that Luka's hurt and the reason he's had to sit out, they've been blitzing him, doubling him. So he has to work his ass off for these 50-point games and 40-point triple doubles. You know, your body doesn't hold up. He would have been just either on the shelf or just really hurting by the time the playoffs came around. So something you can't blitz every time. It was like I used to coach in high school when we played against Kobe. We put 2 guys on him, we blitzed them. Let's stop Kobe, make somebody else beat us. And nobody else on the Mavs really could step up to beat you. Now with Kyrie, good luck. Go ahead and blitz Luka. Get Kyrie the ball. Let him go 4-on-3, and he is going to go bonkers. And so I'm ecstatic to see how it's going to play out. I think that it is a move that they had to make. I know a lot of people thought I might be wishy-washy about it because Kyrie's such a goofy guy. But again, between the lines, the dude is absolutely awesome. And I think that it is really a great move. The Mavs didn't give up that much. They really didn't, even though it made, when the first headlines came out, it made it sound like they gave up the farm, but they did not. Let's get to 50 people live in here. We're closing in on that. Let's get to that so that we can add another ticket to give away here. So we'd love to have a few more people jump in. Do not leave me and go anywhere else. I don't care if some of the other pods started. We need you here, man. We're going to give you some winners, and that's all there is to it. Now, let's Garage Junkie Productions. Why I called you, maybe George will be your nickname because it's easier to say than Garage Junkie Productions. So I'll say George. George, here's the deal. Yes, this is a massive blow to Luka DFS wise. He was number 1 by a mile in usage. That's going to be gone now with Kyrie. He'll probably slip down to 2, 3, 4. So he's still going to get the ball, still going to be the man. It's still his team. But I will tell you this, from a DFS perspective, until his price reduces, which will take a little while, I will not have any Luka in my lineup probably until after the All-Star break. I think it's going to take that long for the money to adjust in salary for Luka. So it will change things there without question. It also shakes the hell out of things in Brooklyn. We're going to have to do a bunch of adjusting there with that whole new situation now that Durant's still out and Kyrie is traded. So fun stuff, man. I hope that does anybody else have any other questions on the Mavs trade or any opinions or anything like that? Hopefully that gives you my insight, a little in-depth look at that whole trade, how it worked out. Again, it was a 2027 first, 2 seconds, Markieff and Dorian Finney-Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie, and we get back Irving and Markieff Morris. So no question about it. Bad for Luka's DFS, good for the Mavs. DJ 217, I couldn't wrap it up any better. That's what I think as well. I think it gives the Mavs a shot, and they may not be done yet. They were able to keep the only 2 assets the people in the league have been calling about are Josh Green and Jaden Hardy. And they were able to keep both of those guys. They still have their first round pick in the next 3 seasons. So they still have some move. We're up to 50 live concurrent viewers in here. So we're going to add a ticket. So we're going to give away 3 tickets. Let's give away the first ticket. Nets perspective. Okay, let's talk about this real quickly here. I'm going to, if you haven't made a comment yet, definitely hit the button, make a comment so that you are on the randomizer for that first ticket, because that is going to be very important for you if you want a chance to win a freebie. I am also looking up, want to try to look up the Brooklyn, the Nets and how it's going to affect them. And we can talk about that a little bit because that's going to be key. And we'll definitely break it down even more as the week goes off. We have no Brooklyn Nets game today, but we will coming up soon. So I'm going to look at the most current depth charts. We'll jump on RotoWire here. RotoWire, I'm a big backer of. I think they do a terrific job. All right, I've got that up. I've got Brooklyn up there. And I'm going to give the ticket away, break Brooklyn down, and then we're going to do this 5-game slate because that early FanDuel 5-gamer locks an hour before the other 2 do. All right, the first winner of a ticket, and if you are called, just shoot me a DM. Go to DFS Coach at DFS Coach Talk on Twitter. DM me your PayPal email, and we'll get you that ticket for tonight's action. I already know I've got 2 tickets coming into our man that I skipped yesterday. Oh goodness! Real quickly, so I don't lose track. Welcome, Josh. Gillum, great to have you back in here. Earl Pep Tyson, we call him Mike Tyson because he knocks out all the competition. It just Layla. Did you win it? Oh, you want to win a ticket? Okay, I want you to win a ticket. It's a randomizer, so I can't play favorites. But welcome to the chat. It's just Layla. I don't think I've seen you in there. So welcome. Justin Jennings is with us. Travis Wyndham, unbelievable. Yes, they have Wood too. So, with a healthy Wood in there and a healthy Kyrie with Luka, and then here's another key that no one's talking about. This is why I feel really great about this trade. I was going to save it till the end. I'm just so fired up. Maxi Kleber has not played in like a month. He's close to coming back. He is as good of a defender, in my opinion, as a Dorian Finney-Smith. He is what's been lacking on that interior and wing defense for them. So you put him in there with a youngster like Josh Green, even though you don't need any offense from him, but let Green and Kleber just play their ass off on defense, and then let Luka, Kyrie, and Wood do the scoring. That's not a team most people are going to want to face in the playoffs. I'm just saying. So there we go. Cedric Bad. You are Cedric Good in my book. You know that always. Tyrone C. Let's go, Mavs. I agree with you, my friend. Josh Davis. Not sure who that is, but if you're new to the... No, just kidding. You Crash. I love you. Charlie. I love that name. Let's see. Kyrie is a good basketball player, but he is not a team player. Well, you know what? Jason Kidd knows him really, really well. Jason Kidd's a little out there himself. So if anybody can get Kyrie's respect and get him going, I think Kidd's the right guy to do it because he's played with him, he's played against him, he knows him. So you've got the great relationship with the GM Nico, the great relationship with Jason Kidd. I'm going to say he's got a shot, that's for sure. Crash, I saw you post something about the Super Bowl in there and trying to do 100 things. Can you repost that, please? Because I want to make sure that everybody sees that, because I know you and Steve have some fantastic Super Bowl stuff going on. Brian Goodwin, welcome back, my friend. Damn, I missed some of you guys. I haven't seen you forever. Charlie, by the way, Charlie's one of my favorite names. So I love that. I will not forget that you're in here with us. And if I missed anybody, I apologize. I'm trying to watch and do things all at the same time. But if Crash is still in there, don't forget he and Steven's Super Bowl, and you can post that in here. Make sure everybody knows that that's coming up as well. Well, you know what? If you can get in Kyrie's head and figure out what he's thinking, good luck. But I think we got a shot to make it right. All right, the winner of the first ticket. So get on at DFS Coach Talk and DM me. The winner of the first ticket is Rose Miller. Rose. Another winner. I think you've won a bunch of times, man. You're one lucky dude. We got to take you to the slots in Vegas. So Rose Miller, you've won the first ticket. Congratulations. We have 2 more tickets to give away. We added one already. If we can get to 75 concurrent viewers, we'll add another one. All right. We're way into the show. Haven't talked about the slate at all, but we had to break down that. And now we got one more piece because that was asked of me, and I am going to do it. How does it affect the Nets roster? The guy that I'm going to go to immediately is Edmund Sumner. I think Edmund Sumner is a player. I loved him when he was at the Pacers. I couldn't understand why they didn't give him a chance, didn't let him run out there. I think he's got a lot of ability. I think you're going to get him at really cheap initially till his price goes up. So there's my value guy that I think really, really benefits from this trade. Spencer Dinwiddie he's been with the Nets before. He's back again. He was the one that wanted to sign the long-term deal with the Nets and be paid only in, Bitcoin. That's it. It was a weird thing back then. I don't know if you remember, like 3 years ago or whatever, bubble time. I'm not sure. But he's back with the Nets. They know him. They're going to play him. And he's a nice ball player. We'll see what his price does as far as that settling in. Other than that, they need KD back. They need Ben Simmons to be healthy to at least contribute. Nicholas Claxton has really come through as a solid center, but he has Day'Ron Sharpe pressing him. So, for the Nets, once they get Durant and a healthy Simmons back, and even a TJ Warren, because he's a good guy off the bench. So they'll have a rotation of Dinwiddie, Sumner, Curry, Royce O'Neal, who's played well this year, and then, of course, Joe Harris. They're going to have Dorian Finney-Smith as a defensive stopper now to be in there alongside KD, who's a fine defender himself. Ben Simmons, who we know is a fine defender. So they're going to be able to shut some teams down. And Nicholas Claxton in the paint as a shot blocker. So they got better defensively for sure. And, the Kyrie stuff, they're going to miss definitely miss his offense. But if Sumner can step up, Dinwiddie can step in and do it, and Durant and the rest of the crew's healthy, I think they can be decent. And there's no way Kyrie was going to resign. He told him that. So they would have got nothing for him. So I think it's a smart move from them. As far as DFS-wise, initially Sumner's going to be the go-to guy. And then you're going to, we'll be able to figure it out from there and go. So hopefully that answers the question. Let's see, a three-time winner, Rose Miller. How about that, man? You are a good, lucky, awesome dude. Nets has a lot of good players. Yeah, they're decently deep. They just have to get healthy. That's for sure. Let's see. He dribbled an invisible basketball and did weird shit. He was a professor or something as a civilian. Oh my gosh. I know, man. I get it. He's definitely out there, but you know what? Try to guard him and Luka with a little Christian Wood mix when you're trying to come up with a defense for the Mavs. I'm so sick of those double and triple teams on Luka. So, all right. I had to get through that. Congratulations again, Deb. We've got one ticket given away, 2 others to go. Let's talk about ownership today. I'm going to do a reset here, and then we're going to get into ownership. But I'll tell you this, I tried to delay as much as I could as far as talking about this slate because I want to get some news because we still have some massive news that still has to drop that we haven't gotten. So see Self-Made, I see your email too and your message. I'll hook you up 2 tickets here right after the podcast. All right, so let's talk about real quickly. Let's look at the latest up to the second injury news. I use pretty much Underdog as my main source for the up-to-date news. I think he is fantastic, and I really would recommend him. And he's not a sponsor or anything like that. So that's just the true deal about it. All right, let's see. The bad news, by the way, today, Steph Curry, they did announce that he has a partial tear in his lower leg in a ligament, and he'll be out for probably a month or 6 weeks or maybe longer. So that really sucks. So sorry to hear that. No Karis LeVert today in that 5 o'clock game. According to Kerr, we already knew this, but he says Jordan Poole will start for Steph Curry in the near future. So he'll be owned like a maniac. Cavs starting lineup: Garland, Mitchell, Okoro, Mobley, and Allen. The news that we still need, let's talk about that first, and then we'll talk about ownership, and then we're going to break down these games, if that's okay with you guys. LeVert out, Windler out for Cleveland, and Tice questionable for Indiana. The big news is Joel Embiid again. Is he going to play or not against the Knicks? We haven't gotten that info. If any of this news I'm talking about now breaks, please throw it in chat, and we'll read and react to it right away. Still no Mitch Robinson for the Knicks. OG Anunoby is out for Toronto because he will be traded for sure. We could get that trade anytime. But remember, this Thursday is the trade deadline, and this Mavs trade is going to start the roll. There's going to be quite a few trades, in my opinion. Another piece of massive news that we need: Ja Morant and Triple J for Memphis, both questionable. So that's going to shift the slate based on that news. Adams and Brooks are already out, so they may be down 4 starters if Morant and Jackson sit. We know that De'Aaron Fox is sitting for Sacramento. Davion Mitchell just killed people's lineups the other day. He was atrocious. So whether he bounces back or not, we will see. But I'm not too thrilled with Davion Mitchell at this moment. For the Pelicans, Joe Val, it looks like, is not going to play. He's doubtful. I'm not counting him in. We already know Daniels is out. Ingram is out, which sucks. Liddell, and then Zion, we know he's off eating cheeseburgers again. Sorry, I had to say it, but it is what it is. He's on the All-Star starters, I think, or something. So I don't know if they're having a cheeseburger eating contest at halftime. I shouldn't joke because I'm not exactly svelte myself. It's just I'm also not getting paid $200 million to sit on the bench and snack on a burger. The last game, we have a mass exodus of the Denver Nuggets players. So right now, this is the projected RotoWire starting lineup for the Nuggets tonight. So you're going to have 9 billion people with Nuggets in their lineup for value. This is what they're predicting. I don't think it's exactly right, but it's Bruce Brown, Christian Braun, Michael Porter, Vlatko Kantkar, and Zeke Naji as the starting 5 for Denver. Good Lord. So we'll break that down. Jack White is questionable. Not Jack Black, but Jack White. I know both of them about the same, I guess. The problem is KCP, Aaron Gordon, the Joker, and Murray are going to be out. There's their 4 best players. And then Gillespie, just for good measure, he's out as well. Now, those guys are listed as doubtful, but I've read what Coach said. They're not playing. So we got to shuffle the deck, get our value in Denver, and we'll talk about that. And then just to add more confusion, Minnesota has Gobert for the 9 millionth time in a row. He's now in the class with LeBron and AD. He's questionable again. Slow-mo questionable. McLaughlin questionable. Rivers and Cat are out. Rivers got his butt kicked by Mo Bamba, so deal with that, Mr. Rivers. I would sit out as well. All right, those are the injuries. So we're going to break this down. I'm going to do my best to give you the best plays that I can give you. But obviously, when you have guys like Embiid and Ja, etc., that we have to get final news on, we're not going to be able to give you the most solidified. So this is your chance. If you're not a member now, $3 for 3 days. DFSCoachTalk.com. It will be the best $3 that you ever spent. I'm just saying. All right, I'm going to check chat. Bruce Brown chalk. Yeah, no question about it. How's it going, Doug L? Doug W again, man. Let's get it. Somebody likes Allen tonight. Is it the big man, Allen? I hope. Yeah, it must be for the Cavs. That makes sense. George, as I'm calling Garage Junkie Productions, wants Rudy to play. Okay, that's fine as well. Also, please, if hit that thumbs up if you can. I would appreciate it. Ownership as it stands right now projected. Highest owned player on DraftKings is Bruce Brown at 56%. CJ McCollum, maybe one of the last men standing for the Pelicans, at 54%. The one and only Guillermo Hernan Gomez, the infamous player from the movie Hustle with Adam Sandler. If you didn't see it, it was great, and he was really good in it. So I would highly recommend it if you like basketball to see that movie. He's the dead min 3,000, and he's grabbing 44% initial ownership. We knew we'd get a bunch of Denver players. Here they are. Michael Porter Jr., Bones Highland. Those guys also over 40%. So you're going to have dead-ass chalk value with Brown, Hernan Gomez, Porter. I guess you can consider chalky, 5,800 or cheap value-ish. Bones is only 3,700. So you're going to get whoever you want if you're going to be using some of this value. You also have Kantkar at 3,200. It's another option for that Denver chalk. So hitting the Denver value chalk is going to be the key to the slate, and then using that money to pay up to the right guy, no doubt about it. John Morant, very highly owned initially at 30% if he does play, but he's questionable. Najee Marshall, I think a terrific play as a starter for the Pelicans. Sabonis at 10.5. Jackson Hayes at 3,000 min. So this is going to be a weird day, guys. We're going to have, and gals, we're going to have a lot of value. That's DraftKings. On FanDuel, here's the top group. CJ McCollum, Porter Jr., Bruce Brown, Bones Highland, Sabonis, our man Hernan Gomez, Donovan Mitchell getting at 8,200, getting 29% projected ownership on FanDuel. And we have Herb Jones. Maybe he steps up a little more offensively with so many guys out. Siakam, Garland, Bane, who is my thumbnail favorite. Again, a lot of that has to do if Morant sits, Desmond Bane's my favorite play. He's $7,000 on FanDuel. 100% plug and play for me. I may play him even if Morant plays. I think Bane is terrific, and Toronto's backcourt defense has been suspect as of late. Would you believe Ish Smith is next on the list? I mean, people just don't die in DFS and in the NBA. They show up on the list again somehow, some way. Julius Randle, Fred VanVleet, and the aforementioned Najee Marshall, who I do like today. Yahoo, it looks like this. Porter Jr., Brown, McCollum, VanVleet getting play there at $36, 34% projected ownership. Ja, if he's in, 28%. Gobert, if he's in, 26%. Sabonis, Bane, my guy, 25%. I'll take that. He's only $28. Bones Highland, dead min, $10. Lock him in if he's starting, especially. I want to lock him in. We need to get some confirmation. Harden, Barnes, Herb Jones, Larry Nance Jr., Deb's favorite player of all times. Think she's his agent. Pascal Siakam, Julius Randle, and Mr. D'Angelo Russell. All right. I'm checking chat, and then we're going to get to game one. I know Crash is probably having an absolute stroke that I am 40 minutes. 40 minutes into the podcast, and I haven't broken down a game. Holy, you know what? I had to work till now. Hate offering to be on a call on a Sunday. No more offer. All right. Todd is living for Sundays, and damn it, it's Sunday. So now we can start. Not the same guy, Coach. Thanks for the Raptors. What? That's not the same guy in the movie? I just don't. I'm really not sure about that. So who was in the movie Hustle as the star? I know you guys are all going nuts because I haven't done the games. I think it's him, guys. I'm just saying. Somebody needs to. Oh, Triple J's in, expected to play. So thanks for that news. That's really good. Alan popping on the optimizer. I do think Alan needs to be looked at in this one. But movie Hustle with Adam Sandler. Somebody can convince me that that's the Hernan Gomez that I'm talking about. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I will accept that. I could be wrong. It happens once a year. Maybe this is the time. All right. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Love that you're all in here. Love that we have this much of a group. We're actually past 75. We're adding another damn ticket. So that's 4 tickets now. We've given away one. Here's the second one. The second winning ticket goes to, I'm hitting the button, DJ 217. DJ 217. And I'm sorry about that. I said 2027 for the first round pick. DJ 217, you're right. It's the maxed time 2029. So even better. They don't have to give around that first round pick for 6 years, and 2 crappy second round picks. They usually get cut half the time, although Jalen Brunson was a second round pick, and etc. So there we go. All right, here we go, my friends. Game one. Cleveland Cavaliers, Indiana Pacers. It's the first night of a back-to-back for Cleveland. They're 32-22. The Pacers are 25-29. Island game for them. We've already said LeVert and Windler out. Tice questionable for Indiana. Cleveland is first in the league in defense. So let's remember that as we talk about this game. First night of the back-to-back to Cleveland. It doesn't look like they're sitting anybody here at all, but it's at least something to be wary of. They're dead last in pace, and they're first in defense, which means Cleveland Cavaliers games are not very friendly to DFS people at all. You got to feel really, really good about them. But maybe this is the spot. Indiana's the 3rd fastest paced team in the league, and they're not good defensively. They're 24th. So is there a spot for a Cleveland player here? No question. Do I think you can stack Cleveland? I don't think you can. I just don't believe that Indiana keeps it quite close enough throughout to just that they got to pour their guys 35, 40 minutes with another game tomorrow. The spread's only 4 in Vegas, and the total's 226, so that's not bad. I don't have any problem going with a Donovan Mitchell and maybe a Jared Allen, but one or the other, 2 at the very most here, because it's just too risky with that bad a pace. And we'll see if the game's going to stay close enough. On the Indiana side, not going there. I know a lot of people are going to go with Halliburton. There's going to be a lot of people going with the cheap Nembhard. Nesmith had a great game for me the other day. Some people are going to buy into Hield's decent game. The only guy that I would consider is Miles Turner. I think his price is right. And, he's going to have to get big minutes. With the 2 7-footers, Mobley and Allen in there, you're going to get some extra run for Turner, and it's an island game. So could I roll the dice here and go with Mitchell and then Turner on the other side? Absolutely. I do want some exposure to this game, but I would not stack it. I would not go with more than one guy from Indiana at the most, if any, because of Cleveland's pace. I mean, you can't get a worse pace down from 3rd to last in Cleveland being last, and then Cleveland's really good defense. All right, game 2. It's an hour later. Now, that first game is included on the FanDuel 5-game slate, and that locks in 29 minutes. So we're going to get busting through this. And then the other 4 games will be the key games. It'll be on all 3 slates. The first one, of course, at 6 p.m. Eastern. Remember, not 7 p.m. like usual. Sundays are always at least an hour early, 2 hours earlier for FanDuel today. It's the Sixers 34-17, the Knicks 28-26. Joel Embiid, we need the news. Let's just get the darn news before we make any decisions there. That's going to shift this entire game. We know Mitch Robinson's out. Other than that, Philadelphia's a 4-point road favorite, and it's only a 224 total. So the total's not great. It's slightly actually the lowest, although we've got 3 games at about 226 and 1 at 230. So there's really, the over-unders are not going to have a big play today. There's no 245s, like we've had at times. There's no 212s or whatever. So you don't have to let that completely sway you. Philadelphia is pretty slow, and the Knicks are pretty slow. That's the downfall here. 23rd and 27th the league in pace. And it's the second night of a back-to-back for the Knicks, something to consider. I know Thibodeau plays his players into the ground, but it still is the second night of a back-to-back, and Philly's a pretty tough squad. Defensively, Philadelphia, 5th best in the league. Knicks in the top half, barely, but they're 14th. So you got slow pace, good defense, one of the teams on the second night of a back-to-back. This is not going to be a game that I'm going to dive on whatsoever. If Embiid's out, I'm going to plug James Harden in as a pay-up play, period. It's going to be easy. If Embiid's in, may not go anywhere with Philly. Don't trust, Maxey, Melton, Harris, Tucker, the guys people like to play. I just don't trust them. On the Knicks side, Philly's defense, especially on the interior with Embiid and the pace, I don't see spending the big money for either Brunson or Randall, and I've been on one of those 2 guys pretty much every day. Brunson's still going to be a little pissed he didn't get selected for the All-Star team. I think he was the worst snub of anybody, in my opinion. But again, it's Philadelphia, and they're tough defensively. If I was forced to take a Nick, I would go with Brunson. But again, I'm not probably going to roster anybody there just because second night of the back-to-back, tough team that they're playing against. All right, see, 2 down, 3 to go. Crash, you don't have to panic. We're going to get through this. We're going to be able to put rosters up there. No problem. We'll get these lineups together. Let's see. I'm missing a lot of Juancho Hernan Gomez is the guy in Hustle. And so who's owned so much today that I got this screwed up? Am I really wrong is the question. Oh, I am wrong. Son of a gun. It's Guillermo Hernan Gomez. Okay. Thank you so much for correcting me. Check my 2023. I've got my 1 mistake in the books. I'm sorry, friends. You were right. We're eking in on adding another ticket. Another 10 folks. Get in here. Let's do it. We got a chance here. Deb Lutz. Hats off to Deb. I'm going to show my bald head. Just because Deb Lutz came in and she's so awesome, she carries our asses here at Coach Talk a lot of times. Of course, Crash does, but Deb does with some big winners like the takedown last night too. So love that you're in here with us, family. I'm missing a million things that are posted in here, but if you have questions, just repost them. I'll eventually see them. All right. Todd said I'm allowed my 1 mishap. That's okay. The Hernan Gomez family forgives me as well. All right. Game 3, my friends. It's the Toronto Raptors 24-30. Memphis Grizzlies 32-20. Toronto's about to blow it up. They're definitely trading Anunoby. I think they're going to trade Van Vliet. They may not be done. They're making some moves. Memphis is 32-20, but we don't know if Ja's playing. We do expect Triple J now to play. So he's probable, and that does change some things without question. We're going to follow that closely. Anunoby out. Jackson probably in now. Morant's still questionable. Adams and Brooks out. Toronto's 26th in pace. Memphis second, so major pace up for Toronto. That's a good point to look at here. Toronto's 21st defensively, Memphis second. So yes, you get a better pace for Toronto, but you don't get as good a defense, going against a bad defense. They're going against a pretty good defense here. So it evens out. Definitely tough D for Memphis, without question, but we'll see. I mean, with Triple J in, that really helps. He's a terrific defender. So maybe not the most targetable game. It is a 230 total. Memphis is only a 2-point favorite. So I'm thinking that they're expecting Ja not to play in Vegas, because I think that spreads about 5 if Ja's in, maybe more. So as of the initial build here, Desmond Bane is my favorite play on the slate if Ja sits, and I'm sticking to that. That's why he's the thumbnail on here. I love that play. Triple J, I'm going to read a little bit more about it and double check. If he's playing without restrictions, I think he's in a great spot here. Toronto is suspect inside with Siakam and Achua in the paint. Very difficult deciding, though, on the bigs. We had a lot of people play Tillman last time, and he was in and out. They used a couple of different bigs from that squad, so I don't think I'm going to mess with any of the centers for Memphis. I think Triple J and Bane are the targets. Conchard, not a bad play if you need more value, but there's a boatload of value on this slate. For the Toronto side, I like Gary Trent today. I seem to be able to hit on that spot when he's playing decently. I'm thinking Bane is going to guard Van Vliet, and I do think that the secondary defender with a guard spot, whoever Memphis is playing, has a tendency to go off, and I think Trent is in that spot to do that. A little too expensive for Siakam for me. Barnes just has not hit on all cylinders. I think Achua as a value center, if you're looking to pay up for an extra spot, is not a bad play at all. All right, we have two 7 o'clock games Eastern, so it's going to be an early night. Crash, you can get your extra beauty sleep. We all know that you are in need of it. I just love to beat up Crash when he's not on here to defend himself. I'm so sorry, Crash, but I enjoy it. What can I say? It's the Sacramento Kings, 29-22. A good, pleasant story in the NBA here at approaching the All-Star break. Pelicans, 27-27, because they generally have to play most of their games without Cheeseburger Williamson, but hopefully he'll be back to enjoy some NBA and earn some of that hundreds of millions of bucks. Davion Mitchell. I know Deb and I are skin crawls. He killed our lineups the last time. So I don't know. I don't trust him at all. I'm probably not going to go there. I know you got to forget about the last game and look at it. I just don't trust him. He looked like garbage. And there's enough value here. I don't need to go there. Kevin Huerter, Harrison Barnes, Keegan Murray, all reasonable plays at reasonable prices. But my favorite Sacramento King and my slam dunk play here is Domantas Sabonis. Sabonis is going to be my highest probably paid guy in my lineup. He's plug and play. I'm putting Bane and Sabonis in everything to start my builds, and I'm hoping that works out for us. We know Fox is out, so that makes it very interesting. It is the first night of a back-to-back for Sacramento. Is that going to affect Sabonis? I don't believe it will. This is a very winnable game. Vegas has Sacramento favored by 1.5, so it should stay close. Maybe Sabonis sits tomorrow, but I think he gets full run here. I really do, especially with the fact there's no Zion in the paint. There's no Steven Adams in the paint. They have to try to stop Sabonis with Najee Marshall, Larry Nance, and some of the other backup bigs that they have. So I think Sabonis in a smash spot. I'm not going to pass it up, and I'm not letting the first night of a back-to-back intimidate me whatsoever. Pace-wise is really good. Sacramento's 9th. The Pelicans are 14th. Got to love that. And then defensively, Sacramento's 20th. So even though they have 7 games over 500, they're not defending great. Pelicans are 8th, but that is really jaded because a bunch of their guys are out. without Zion and Ingram and Joe Val, that just changes completely. So I think it's a very good game. I'm going to have multiple players from here. Sabonis buy up one of the Sacramento values in Herter, Barnes, or Murray. And then on the Pelican side, this is where I'm going to grab, not just the Denver chalk like everybody else. I think there's some really good value here in Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Najee Marshall, and Larry Nance. So yes, Deb, I'm even including Larry Nance in that mix. So those four guys, I could easily have two of them. So this is going to be the key game for us here at Coach Talk for our lineups. Probably 3 or 4 guys from this game will build our lineup. All right, quick check to Discord. If we had any other crazy NBA news drop, I'm going to check that. Let's see here. Why do they give us Monday's information? I don't want that. It's DFS, not tomorrow DFS. Let's check. Let's see. We got a bunch of conversations going. I love it. How you doing, Josh? You're the best, man. You're number one in my book. Michael likes Siakam. I like that. Let's see. Bald is beautiful, guys. Yes, thank you, Deb. We appreciate you. AK Hollywood. Good luck tonight, everyone. Oh, don't leave us yet, man. We still have tickets to give away. I want you to win. And you're new to the family here. Stay with us. Stay with us. Anybody playing Nance, he will definitely be in consideration in some of my lineups without a doubt. Bucks are on a roll. Oh, no, we've got the Josh and Todd Bucks talk side chat. I love it. Sabonis was a bit of a letdown with no Fox against Indy. I agree. I think what it was a little too emotional for Sabonis. I thought he'd thrive off of it, but, Indiana's where he blew up in stardom. He was a deep bench player on the Thunder. He was not very good. It wasn't until he got to Indiana that he became a superstar. And, I think that affected him mentally. But, no Fox today, a very winnable game, a game they want to get. I think he's a great spot here. All right, 10 more to the magic number to add one more. Okay, AK Hollywood's not leaving. Very good, man. I appreciate you being here. Welcome to the family. Let's give away a second ticket. We're at 4, maybe going to 5 if we can do it. The winner of the second ticket is Josh Gillum. Josh Gillum, remember, anybody I call their name, and I promise I will check it. I won't miss it today. I missed one yesterday, and I feel terrible about it, but he's getting an extra ticket today. Go to @DFS Coach Talk on Twitter and DM me your PayPal email, and bingo, you're going to find a ticket in there for you that you can win and take down some serious bucks tonight. All right, last game, 2 tickets left. And let's talk about the crazy game of Denver with everybody on the planet sitting for them. Second night of a back-to-back, which we're going to get that, a lot in the second half of the season. And, that's just the way it goes. And then on top of that, it's an island game for Minnesota, so that makes it even worse. Nuggets are 37-16. Minnesota's 28-27. Minnesota's favored by 8. Because basically it's Denver with a couple of decent players and some, feels like almost like a G League elevated game for some of the guys in this rotation. But Minnesota's favored by 8. It's still a decent 226 total. You have Denver 21st in pace, Minnesota 6th. Generally, the pace slows a little bit when teams play their second units like this. Coaches try to shorten the game to stay in it longer. They don't want to play at a full pace because they're completely outmanned. So you'll see that a lot when there's big spreads, and especially with teams when they're sitting a bunch of starters, they'll try to slow it down to stay in the flow of the game. Because if it runs, if they let Russell and Edwards and these guys just run up and down the floor, they're going to get their doors blown in. So I think that's a bit of a concern there. But I will have certainly some ownership here, but I'm not going to be pile driving it like some people are with this Denver value. As far as defense goes, 17th for Denver and 10th for Minnesota. So not bad on the defensive side, but Denver's doesn't really count with all their people out. Minnesota is 6th in pace. So they're going to try to run the ball. There's no question about it. I've been on Anthony Edwards like a maniac lately. He's not quite there for me today. It's possible on the line on some of the sites where I can have Sabonis and Bane that I will add Edwards, but some of the sites I won't be able to afford that. So I do like Ant. He's my favorite Minnesota player. He's been playing great, and I think he's showing out too right now. Just, a lot of people upset with, all-star selection stuff and trying to show that they've got something, and Ant is one of those guys. We do need to know, though, if Slow-Mo and Gobert are playing. That's massive. So I don't know if we'll have that news, but that'll make certainly the Naz Reeds and some of these other players, even if McLaughlin, if he's in, we just have to follow the news on Minnesota. I'm just going to go right up to Ant, and I don't care if Gobert and Anderson do play. That doesn't affect Edwards at all because Gobert won't shoot, period, and Anderson is going to get him the ball when he needs to. So that's really good. Look at this. We have people already sending. I love it. Send in those tweets to me, DM me, so I get those to you. On the Denver side, who do I like in this? Bruce Brown is probably going to be unavoidable chalk. Let's just face it. When everybody sits and he plays, he's just kicked ass. He really has. And he's got game. He can do a little bit of everything. That will be the one big chunk of chalk that I'll be chomping on with everybody else. But where do we go with other guys there? What is the go-to? You guys know I don't like Porter. Christian Braun, risky. I prefer one of the bigs, Kantkar or Najee. So I can easily see myself, especially the lineups where I'm going to get Edwards in there with Sabonis and Bane, of maybe going Bruce Brown and either a Kantkar or Najee. But we do have, for a 4 or 5 game slate, depending what site you're playing, a tremendous amount of value. So that's really the breakdown, the way I see it. I hope that helps you definitely get some of this together without question. Duarte is out for the Pacers, so a little bit more run for the guards there. It's probably going to have, Nembhard, a little extra time for him, maybe a few more shots for Hield. So again, they have to face that, in the teeth of that Cleveland defense, though, which can be a little bit tough. The Pacers, Halliburton, Nembhard, Hield, Nesmith, Turner, as we expected. All right, let me look here. What else am I missing? I really am missing a lot in here as far as any info in chat. If there's anything that you have a question on, this is the time to ask. I'd really appreciate it if you can do that. All right, 2 tickets. We're going to give away those right now. DM me at DFS Coach Talk with your PayPal email. The first winner is disqualified. But I will tell you, Deb Lutz is on fire. She came up on the randomizer and, of course, doesn't qualify for a free ticket. But, Deb, it just proves that you are on fire. So we're going to reset that. Let's go back in. And the winner of a ticket is Michael. We don't know if it's Michael Jordan. We're going to maybe think it's Michael Jordan, but we'll take it. So there you go. Michael, you've got a ticket for tonight's action. And then the fourth and final ticket goes to Travis Wyndham, the owner of the fantastic Wyndham Hotel franchise. I know you're loaded, Travis, but you've won a ticket as well. So I believe, hopefully, somebody tell me if I'm wrong, giving away all the tickets. We've got all the information out there. This is the best NBA DFS show, hands down. You know what, George, as your new nickname states, I really appreciate you, my friend. Oh, no, Michael's in Australia and can't play FanDuel or DraftKings. Well, that sucks, Michael. It really stinks. We've had people in Australia as members. Ruchard has been a member since the very beginning. So I'll tell you what, Michael, what are we going to do for Michael? I guess we have to put his ticket back into the till. Can't even Cash App you. I don't know what to do for you, buddy. I'm sorry that stinks, but I do love Aussie, mate. I love that country. That's one bucket list place that I want to visit. So we've got to do that. So let's choose another one, since unfortunately our man is in Australia and can't get the ticket. So the ticket is going to go to Doug L. You're a Doug W today. I've got 8 minutes to post the FanDuel lineup. So I am going to build that. You know what? Let's do something different here. If everybody drops off, that's cool too. I'm good. How about I build this lineup right here live with you guys? Just, we'll do that for our non-members, since we have such a fantastic group in here today. And I'm so proud to have everybody in here. I'm gonna build this full lineup of FanDuel. So it's one brain is better than one, I guess we'll call it. But I'm gonna call it up. As long as I'm in here, why click off? Let's just do this. First of all, a quick gander at our golf today, doing very well, both for the full lineup for the week and for this weekend. So upcoming, let's edit this lineup right now and see what we can do, my friends. So we've only got 7 minutes. So that's why I'm not going to waste time and have any of our our members are going to get so mad. So if they're not listening to the podcast, I'm going to have to throw this lineup in there. Okay, so we know we're let's see what we can do here. Let's start with Bain. Let's start with Crash. Can you post something in, if you're still on, and let the members know? Lanny's probably having 6 heart attacks and a stroke. Let them know that I'm posting something in here on the live chat for the FanDuel lineup. And then I'm going to put that in our Discord. So bonus at power forward. Let's try a lineup where we do put Edwards in. And then let's put some of these other guys I was talking about. Let's go with Najee Marshall. He's at small forward. Again, you don't have to stay in here if you don't want to hear me build FanDuel, if you're not a FanDuel player, because we've given away the tickets. But if you want to see some insight, why not do it together? We've got a family here, and we believe strong in our family. All right. I wish I could afford Triple J. That's not looking too great. I think I'm going to go with Kevin Herter today, if we can fit him in there. I never know how to spell Herter correctly. Okay. Let's see. We're getting there, guys. So far, Bain, Edwards, Marshall, Herter, Sabonis. I'm rushing. I'm looking at a few things. If Ja plays, he plays. I'm still very comfortable with Bain in this matchup today. And we'll see if he's going to roll or not. Okay, let's go. Point guards, we talked about a few people here. Oh, Davion Mitchell drives me crazy. I want to use him so bad, but I just can't do it. I cannot do it. What about a Harrison Barnes showing? Let's go Harrison Barnes at power. Our center, talked about a few guys. Allen was popping for a lot of people. Achua's price is way up. We don't know if Naz Reid's going to be a decent play or not. Oh, let's see here. Let's go with Zeke Naji. I believe. That's my other Denver player that I wanted. That gives me 68.50 for 2 point guards. I had a few guys built in here. I'm going to go D'Angelo Russell. I'm going to stick with him. And let's let's see. I'm going to put CJ McCollum in there, but that puts me over. So I'm going to have to cut Harrison Barnes down. Sorry, guys. We're 4 minutes away from lock on FanDuel. But this is how I do my work. I build a lineup initially, and then I tweak it as I go. I think that's the best way to do it. Oh, man. Keegan, I would love to go with Keegan Murray, but he has really let me down. I think I'm going to go with Keegan Murray at power and take Herter off of there. That gives me 5,200 for a small forward. There were a few guys I was looking at back and forth on. I'm going to go back to Nesmith. I just love the way he's playing. So here's my lineup for FanDuel, guys. It's a freebie, $200 left in the tank. It's D'Angelo Russell, CJ McCollum, Desmond Bain, Anthony Edwards, Najee Marshall, Aaron Nesmith, Domantas Sabonis, Keegan Murray, and Zeke Najee. So I have locked it in and saved it with 3 minutes to spare on FanDuel. I am going to post this very quickly on our Discord. And if you want to become a member, you can certainly do that by going to dfscoachtalk.com. And if you want to just try us out, dip your toe in the water, $3, 3 days, and we'll go from there. So I am now going to switch over to Twitter and send out those free tickets to everybody. Thank you for all coming in here. What a great group today. We had a huge amount of people show up the last 2 days, and we're going to build some momentum and really get back after it. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate all of you. Hopefully you enjoy the insight. Very excited about this Mavs move. Very excited about everything we've got coming up. Appreciate all of you. I do want to add one thing as we're closing out. My man did the PrizePicks selections for us, and I'm going to share those right now. This is from Crash. He likes Fred VanVleet over 40.5 fantasy score, Jalen Brunson over 37.5 fantasy score, Julius Randle less than 11.5 rebounds, and my man Domantas Sabonis less than 8 assists. Oh, that pains me, but that's okay. I'll accept it. I do think he's going to get like 10, but that's just a side bet for Domantas Sabonis and Crash and myself. So VanVleet over fantasy score, Brunson over fantasy score, Randall under rebounds, Sabonis under assists. And those are Crash's PrizePicks plays of the day. Join us every day, NBA podcasts. Join us for golf, MMA lineups. We've got NASCAR lineups posting here in a little bit, and hopefully we get this golf in the bank as well. Thank you so much. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it. Let's get this Kyrie and Luka thing going as soon as possible. I can't wait to see it. Appreciate all of you taking your time on your Sunday. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your day. Really appreciate all of you. And we will be back again tomorrow when we look to crush it in NBA, DFS, and PrizePicks.